Hey everyone, it's Nick again. Today I wanted to do a ranking video that I haven't really seen before. That's not to say that it's not out there. I'm sure there's tons of different versions of this out there, but I haven't found one. So today what I'm going to do is rank the versions of Laurie Strode in the Halloween franchise from worst to best, in my opinion. So there's a lot of factors that kind of go into this. I don't really have too much prepared. It's kind of going to be a rank and rant a little bit and just kind of say what goes off the top of my head with each performance. So we're going to get started. There are 4 portrayals here that we're going to talk about. I am not including any version of Laurie Strode played by Scout Taylor Compton in the Rob Zombie remakes because I don't care for those movies, and it's my fucking list. So they're out. So we got 4 performances. We obviously have the original Halloween, Halloween 2 in 1981, Halloween H2O in 1998, and then the new one from last year, Halloween 2018. So we're going to start off right away with number 4 performance. Might be a little bit of a surprise. Maybe not though, if you think about it. So my last ranking here is Laurie Strode from Halloween 2 in 1981. Now, before I kind of get into this, Halloween 2 in 1981, other than the original Halloween, is my favorite sequel. I love it. A lot of that is based on nostalgia because I saw it a long time ago and just kind of fell in love with the movie. I know there's people out there that have some issues with it, and I can't really argue with those issues, but for me, I still love it. Now, getting into Laurie, why she is ranked last here. This has been beaten to death, but she is basically almost comatose for most of the movie, especially the first half of the movie. She's drugged up by a drunk Dr. Mixter. She's sitting there, Jimmy offers her a Coke, she checks the phone, has some weird, stupid flashbacks where she remembers meeting Michael. We won't talk about that bullshit. But anyway, she's just kind of there laying in bed, and she doesn't really drive the story until gotta be at least after halfway, probably closer to 2/3 of the way. She gets out of her hospital bed, and then kind of the cat and mouse game continues. So that's why she's ranked number 4 for me. She doesn't really do much except for run and scream at the end of the movie. So she's last in Halloween 2, 1981. Coming up next is the most recent performance, Halloween 2018, Laurie Strode in that movie. Now, there's some aspects I like about this. The fact that she's kind of been walled herself off from society. She's kind of turned into a new crazy version of Loomis. Just been obsessed with what happened to her 40 years ago and obsessed with The Shape and Michael. I just I couldn't get behind a lot of the Sarah Connor shit with, the guns and all that. As much as, that could be realistic, it just didn't really work for me. What did work for me, though, was kind of the way she isolated herself from the community. She's got that house in the woods, got all those traps set up. It was pretty cool. I do think it was realistic that she'd be a shitty mother. Her relationship with Allison was a little bit intriguing. But other than that, I didn't really care for the character as much as I wanted to in this movie. So that's why it's number 3. Coming in at number 2 is Halloween H2O. Now, what's interesting here is, like I said, with Halloween 2, 1981, which was my worst version of Laurie Strode, and I love that movie. Here is my second best version of Laurie Strode, and I fucking hate this movie. I've went into this before. I'll probably go into it again, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse on why H2O sucks, but it does. But as far as Laurie's character, this, I think, is the most realistic version of her character 20 years later. She's got a drinking problem. She's still successful, but she's got all these demons. She sees visions of Michael, who was her brother in this version of the timeline. She sees him everywhere, especially on Halloween or Halloween time. She's kind of a good mother, but kind of a shitty-ish mother too. Josh Hartnett's character. You know, she's there for him, but she's battling her own demons. I really liked her relationship with, was it John Tate? Is that his name? John. I liked her relationship. I liked that he kind of knew about Michael Myers. You know, she wakes up screaming from a nightmare, and he, you know, has to calm her down. You know, she's taking medicine with alcohol. I love the scene where she's having lunch. I can't think of the guy's name. Her boyfriend. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But I love when she's having lunch. He goes to the bathroom and she, you know, drinks or she asks for a new glass of wine. The waitress looks at her and sees that she still has some left, and she just downs it and gets another one. I thought that was cool. I thought that was realistic. You know, I love that when they're driving away from Michael in the school, you know, she tells John and Michelle Williams' character to go when she faces Michael. I thought all that was well done. As far as her character goes, as far as the movie goes, it's a whole nother fucking story, like I said. But I really enjoyed her version of the character. I wish we had this version of Laurie Strode in the new 2018 movie. That would be perfect for me. Because I like it better than 2018, which I just got done doing. But yeah, so she is at number 2. And number 1, not a big surprise, I'm sure, to anyone, is the OG. The original Halloween 1978, that version of Laurie. Just the way she's so innocent, yet smart, doesn't give up. You know, Michael just keeps coming at her, and she just, you know, she's running and also fighting. You know, she puts the kids first. The version of her character is just perfect. You know, she's playing a 17-year-old girl, or Laurie Strode is 17 in this movie. But she's a responsible 17-year-old. You know, she's got idiot friends. We all did when we were 17. But her version of the character is just so innocent, and you really root for her. You really feel for her, especially during those daytime scenes when she sees Michael outside of the school. She sees him in Mr. Riddle's backyard, and he disappears before her eyes by the laundry sheets. And you know, she kind of lays on the bed and is wondering if she's going crazy. The way she got excited to carve a jack-o'-lantern with Tommy. All of that, you know, being embarrassed about telling Annie about Ben Tramer, all that is just so realistic. You know, Deborah Hill, who wrote, I believe she wrote almost all the dialogue for the girls in this movie, just did a great job. You know, you combine Laurie's innocence with the storm that's brewing of Michael coming and slowly being there and not, and what happens, and it's just kind of the perfect storm. Halloween obviously is so amazing at so many levels. The photography, the score, you know, it could go on and on. Carpenter's a genius. As much as he was a genius with all the creepiness and all that, it wouldn't have worked as well. It still would have worked, I think, just because Carpenter's that great. And the scenes and filming and all that I just mentioned was so well done. But it worked even better because of Laurie's character, how you cared for her, how realistic she was, and how you rooted for her, and you felt for her when Michael just kept coming. So yeah, that is my version of the Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode characters. Now, I'm probably going to do another video soon about why Jamie Lee Curtis needs to get the fuck out of the Halloween franchise. And she's doing more harm than good, even though I think her heart's in the right spot. But that'll come at a different time. But for as far as the Laurie Strode characters we have so far, like I said, Halloween 2, then Halloween 2018, H2O, and then the OG, the original. So that's my list. Thanks for listening.